This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Let me go and open the course content. Let me open the course content. Fine. Now try to understand this. In today's session, what we are going to discuss here is we are going to discuss about one of the function called search function. We'll discuss about what is this search function in today's session, when to use it, and also we'll discuss one more function in today's session, that is filter function. So in today's session, we'll discuss about how to go and use the search and how to go and use the filter functions in Power Apps. So in order to go and work with these two functions, let me go and open one notepad. Let me go and open one notepad and let me keep here today's topic name as search function, guys. The first thing we are going to discuss here is search function. Now try to understand what is the use of this search function is. What is this search function is? Search function is used to, let me keep here, what is the functionality of it, guys? Search function is used to search the data. It is used to search the data in the gallery, in the galleries, based on the one or more columns, based on one or more columns. Whenever if you want to go and search the data in the galleries based on one or more columns, then in this case we can go and use the search function. Now see here, guys, in the yesterday's class we discussed about how to go and create a gallery that is in the grid view, how to go and create the galleries in the grid view, how to design the galleries. Now what we are going to discuss now in today's session is we'll discuss about how to go and search the data in that galleries. We'll discuss now in today's session. Let's say I'm having one gallery here. Let's say I'm having one gallery. Now in that gallery, I'm having some data. I'm showing some data in the gallery. Now what's my requirement here is I want to search the data in the gallery. Now if I want to search the data in the gallery, I'm going to keep one control here, that is search control, guys. I'm going to keep one control, that is search control. Here you can go and enter the data based on what you want to search in the data in the galleries. So I want to keep one control here, that is for to search the data in the gallery. Whatever the inputs you are passing in the search control, based on that values, it is go and filter or search the data in the galleries. So what is the use of this search function is? Search function is used to search the data in the galleries based on one or more columns, based on one or more columns. Whenever if you want to go and search the data in the galleries, then go and use this search function. And next, one more point, I said that this search function is used to search the data in the gallery based on one or more columns. Now see, based on what columns we are going to search the data means this search function is used to search the data on the text data type columns only. Let me go and keep that point here. It is used to search the data, on the text data type columns only. On which columns you can go and search the data in the gallery with the help of the search function is on the columns which will have the data type as a text, on the text data type columns only. On which columns you can go and search the data in the galleries with the help of this search function is we are able to search the data on the columns, which column having the data type as a text. It is possible to go and search the data in the gallery on the text data type columns only, guys, with the help of this search function. So let me go and keep that point also. It is used to search the data, or let me keep it like this. It is not possible to search the data, to search the data, let me keep it like this, search the data on the complex data type columns. We are not able to search the data in the, we are not able to search the data on the complex data type columns. Complex data type columns is nothing but like what the columns means. We are not able to search the data on the number columns. We are not able to search the data on the number columns. We are not able to search the data on the let us say date columns. We are not able to search the data on the choice columns. So like this, we are not able to search the data on the complex data type columns other than text data type columns. If you want to search the data on the number columns, it is not possible. If you want to search the data on the date type columns, it is not possible. If you want to search the data on the choice data type columns, we are not able to go and use the search function to search the data on these columns, guys. So only 3 points you need to understand here. The search function is used for what means? It is used to search the data in the galleries based on one column or more than one columns. And second point you need to understand, this search function can be used on which columns means the search function is used to search the data on the text data type columns only. Search function is not possible to search the data on the number columns, date columns, choice columns, guys. All these data type columns are called as complex data type columns in the SharePoint. So this is what the functionality of this search function. Now let me go and open the Power Apps. Let me show you how to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of the search function, guys. By using the search functions, how we are going to search the data in the galleries, let me go and show you. Before going to discuss about how to search the data in the galleries with the help of the search function, first of all, I'm having one list in the SharePoint. Let me go and open the SharePoint. First, let me go and open the Power Apps. And from here, let me go and open the SharePoint. Let me go to the gallery. Let me go to the site called gallery. Now in the gallery, I'm having one list here. The list name is orders. I created one list here. The list name is orders. Now if you see here, I'm having one list called orders. In this list, what is the schema for this list is? Let me go and show you the what is the schema. Schema means what columns I'm using in this list. Now see here, guys, these are the columns I'm using in this list. So the columns I'm using here is row ID column, order ID column, order date, ship mode, customer name, region, category, product name, sales, and profit. These are the columns, and these are the data type of those columns. So I will share the schema with you. I will share this list schema. Let me open that schema now. Let me go and open it. Now see, this is the schema I created. I will share this. Try to create the same list with the same columns. Try to create one list called orders with same columns. Now once after creating the list with this schema, now I need to go and keep some data in this list, right? In this list, I need to store some data. Now if you see how many columns I'm having in this list is, these are the columns. And let me show you what is the data. Let me go to the site content. Now in this orders list, how many rows is there means? In this list, I'm having totally 2100 rows is there, guys. Now how many rows I'm having in the orders list is? In this list, I'm having the 2001 rows. Why I'm keeping these many rows means? Because to understand how the search function is going to work, to understand how the search function will work, we need to have minimum more than 2000 rows here, guys. Minimum 2000 rows or more than 2000 rows we need to have in the list. So what data is there in this list means, if you see, this is the data: row ID, order ID, order date, ship mode, customer name, region, region column, category column, product name column, sales and profit. Now how I am keeping this data means, this data by default I'm not having here. I'm having an Excel file. I'm having one file here, Excel. Now in this file I'm having the data. So whatever the data I'm having in the Excel file, the same data I'm showing there also. So I will share this Excel file also with you. What you need to do from your end is go and create a list orders with this schema. I will share the schema also with you. With these columns, go and create one list called orders. In that list, you need to go and copy the data from here. So first copy the 100 rows. First copy the 100 rows. Copy this 100 rows and then paste it in that list. Copy from here. Go to the list. Go to the list. Click on edit in grid view. When you go and click on edit in grid view, now it will allow us to enter the data. Now just copy and paste it here, guys. So copy and paste every time 100 rows only. Why? Because it will take some time to copy the data. So to copy and paste will take some time. So there is no another alternate way. Whatever I'm discussing here, you need to create one list with the same schema, and then you go to this Excel file, copy every time 100 rows, and go to the list, paste it here. So like this, you need to go and create one list. What the list name is? Orders is the list. In this list orders, how many rows I'm having here is 2100 rows is there. In this list I'm having total name 2100 rows. Now whatever the data I'm having in this list, based on that this data, I want to go and display it in the Power Apps gallery. Now let me go to the Power Apps. Already I'm having one app here. Let me go to the apps and let me go and open this app called Gallery Filter. Let me go and open this app, guys. Let me go and open it. Just go and open that app. Already I created it. Let me open and now see the app name I'm keeping here is Gallery Filter. Now in this, the first screen is home screen. In the home screen, I'm keeping one button, Gallery Search. What is the button text I'm keeping here is Gallery Search. Now on select of this button, what I'm doing here is I'm going to navigate to the gallery screen. So this is the gallery screen, screen 2. Now on select of this button, I'm going to the gallery screen, guys. Now see, by default when I go to the gallery screen, here already I'm having one gallery in grid view. This is gallery grid view in galleries, guys. In the galleries, how to go and show the data in the grid view, like tables and format, tables and rows and columns. Already we discussed in yesterday's class how to design the galleries in the grid views. So I'm not going to waste much time here to go and design the same grid view. Already discussed in yesterday's class. Go and create the same. So here what I'm doing here is just save it, go and play. On select of this button, I'm going to navigate to the gallery screen. Here I'm having one gallery. I'm keeping some header, and this is the gallery header. Yesterday's class I discussed about how to go and create the header for the galleries, and this is the gallery I'm having here. Currently in this gallery, I don't have any data. Now, what data I want to show in this gallery means whatever the data I'm having in this orders list, I want to show the same data in the gallery in grid view. So first let me go and connect to the data. Go to the data, go and click on add data. Let me go and select the data source as SharePoint. Select the data source as a SharePoint. Now go and connect to the list. What's my list? First connect to the site. Gallery is my site. What is the list name? Orders is the list name. Click on connect. Now I'm connecting to the list called orders. Now once after connecting to the list, now go to the gallery, go to the data sources. Now select the data source as what? Orders is the data source. Select the data source as orders. Now whenever I select the data source here, now see, automatically it is displaying the data. So already I discussed about how to go and show the data in the grid view in the yesterday's class. So I'm having one gallery here in grid view. In grid view. Now in this gallery, I'm showing some data, guys. Now if you see, whatever the data that is there in the SharePoint list, the same data I'm showing here also. Fine. Up to here already we discussed in yesterday's class how to go and create a gallery in the grid view. And now first my requirement here is in the bottom I want to keep some text here. What I want to show here in this text control is how many rows is there in this gallery. In this gallery, how many rows is there? I want to display the number of rows in the gallery in this. So in order to go and keep this, let me go and add one text label. Keep it here. Just increase some size. Increase the font to 18. Keep it in the bold. And let me change the text to let me remove this. Let me go and use one function called count rows. I'm going to use one function called count rows. I want to count the rows in where? I want to count the rows in the gallery. Let me go and check what's the name of this gallery. Gallery data. Let me go to this. Count rows. I want to count the rows where means in the gallery data. This is the gallery name. Gallery data dot all items. dot all items. So I'm going to count the number of rows in this gallery. Now see, by default is showing the value as what? 100. By default it is showing the value as 100. Now let me do some formatting. Let me add some background color. Let me change the font color to white and also increase it to 24. Fine, it looks good. Now see, just it is showing some number here. Now what's my requirement is I want to keep some text before this. What is the text I want to keep here is count rows, number of rows is there, count of rows. So let me go and keep the text. So before this, I want to keep some text. What the text here is count rows. So how many rows is there? I want to concatenate this value with this. So just increase the width here. Now see the number of rows in this gallery is by default is showing the count as 100. Now see when I go and play it, now first, what is the first? It is the first row. Now when I scroll down, if you observe, still now the count is 100 only, guys. Still now the count is 100. But whenever I reach the 100th row here, automatically the count of rows is changed. Now it is showing the what is the count of rows? 200. That means when I scroll down again, when I reaches 200, up to when I reaches 200 is showing the count as 200 only. But when the row count is when I reaches to 200, automatically here the number of rows in the gallery is changing the value. So why it is keeping like this means, so whenever if you are getting the data from the SharePoint into the PowerApps galleries, it is not going to load the complete data in one go. So PowerApps is going to load the data in the batch wise. So in each batch, it is going to load the 100 rows, guys. So Power Apps is not going to load the complete data from the SharePoint. So in the SharePoint, I'm having the 2000 plus rows, but in the Power Apps by default is showing only 100 rows. When I scroll down, it is loading the next 100 rows. So in the batches wide it is going to load the data from the SharePoint. So for each batch, it is going to load the 100 rows. So here I'm keeping just one header or some indicator that how many rows is there in the gallery. Fine. So I'm having one gallery here and I'm showing the count of rows in the gallery here. And next, what is my requirement here is I want to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of one search control here, guys. So how to go and search the data in the galleries? So to go and search the data in the galleries, as I said that you need to go and use which function? Search function. So first let me go and design here to go and keep one search control. Let me add one button. Let me go and add one button. Let me increase the height and width of this button. Just increase to up to here. Increase the height. Fine. Let me keep it here. And also let me change the background color. Keep it like this. And let me change the text. Let me remove this text. I don't want to keep any text. Fine. It is too bold. Custom. Fine. Let me keep it like this. Now in this, I need to go and keep one control. What is that control I want to add it here is text input. There is one control called text input control, which is used to pass the input values. Keep it here. Keep it here. And also there is one default value for this. It is text input. Just go and remove it. And hint I want to keep here is such. I want to keep the hint as what? Such. So I'm keeping some hint here just to search the data. Just I want to increase some height. Let me increase the height and keep it here. And also I want to add an icon here, that is search icon. Let me go to the insert tab. Let me go and add an icon called search icon. Let me add this icon. Keep it here. Fine. So this is the control I'm keeping here, guys, which is used to go and search the data in the galleries. With here, I need to go and enter the data. Now, whatever the values I'm going to enter here, based on that, it need to go and search the data in the gallery. Now, see, by default, when I go and enter some data here, So let us say I want to search the data based on the row ID column. Let's say I enter the row ID as 100. Now see, it is filtering the data means no, it is not filtering the data. I'm not connecting this input control to this gallery. Now I need to go and connect this input control to the gallery. Now how to connect this? So by default, I'm connecting to the data source as an orders case. Now see, what is the directly I'm connecting to the data source called orders. Now see, instead of going and directly connecting to the data source orders, instead of going and showing the complete data in the gallery, I want to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of the search control or a text input control. Now how to go and search it? Select the gallery, go to the property called items property. Here by default, it is showing the data source as orders. Orders is my list. Now just remove it, just go and remove this. I'm going to use one function here called search function. Search. Now see, this search function, first it is asking us to pass the data source. What is the data source you want to search? I want to search the data in the orders list. I want to search the data in the orders list. Now once after passing the data source, now keep comma. Next it is asking us to pass the text. So based on what text you want to search, whatever that value I'm going to enter into this text input control, that value I want to go and search in this data source in the orders list. So select this input control, copy the name of this, and keep it here. Whatever the value I'm going to enter into this, that value I need to go and search. Once after passing the text input, keep comma. Next, it is asking us to pass the column name. Based on which column you want to search the data. Let's say I want to search the data based on the row ID column. Now, let me pass the row ID. Now see, this row ID column is a title column in the data source. Row ID column is nothing but what means title column, guys. If you see, when I go to the data source, when I go to the schema of this list orders, row ID, this is the default column in the SharePoint. When I go and click on this row ID, when I select this row ID column, now see on the top, here it is showing the column name as row ID, but in the backend, the column name it is keeping it as title. Why? Because it is the default column. What's the default column in the SharePoint list? Title column is the default column. So that's why I'm keeping this. Now I'm filtering the data in this list orders list based on the value I'm going to enter this into this search control. On which column I want to search the data? In the order ID column. Order ID is nothing but title. Now see, when I go and save it, now go and play. Now try to understand, guys. I'm going to enter some data here. Let's say I'm going to enter the row ID as 100. Now see, whenever I enter the row ID as 100, automatically displaying, it is searching which row ID? It is searching for the row ID is equals to 100. Now let me do one thing. Let me select this control. Let me keep it in the semi bold and also increase the size. Let me increase the size to 16. Fine. Let me go and play now. Now let me enter the row ID as 100. Now see, when I enter the row ID as 100 here, I'm searching for the row ID is equals to 100. Now it is displaying the row ID is equals to 100. Now when I search for the row ID is equals to 210, now it is displaying the row ID is equals to 210. Now I am able to search that data in the gallery. I'm able to do what? I'm able to search the data in the gallery based on which column I'm searching the data, based on the row ID. Now let us say I'm passing the row ID as 400. I'm passing the row ID as 400. Now see, it is displaying the value. What value? For what value you are searching here, which value you are entering here, that value details I'm going to show here in the gallery. Let's say I'm searching for 500. Now see, it is displaying the row ID is equals to 500 complete details. What is the row ID? What's the order ID? Ship mode, customer name, region, category, product name, sales, and then profit. Fine. But now try to understand. When I go and keep here 501, now I am searching for the row ID is equals to what? 501. Now when I go and keep here 501, I'm not able to see the data. It is not showing the row ID with it is not showing the value with row ID is equals to 501. Why it is not showing that value? If I go and keep here 500, it is displaying the value. If I go and keep here 499, it is displaying the value. But when I go and keep here 501, it is not showing the data for the row ID is equals to 501. But when I go to the list, in the list, if you see, I'm having the row ID is equals to 501. If you see in the list, if you scroll down, if you scroll down, let me scroll down. Now see here, guys, I'm having the row ID is equals to 501. I'm not able to see this value in the gallery now when I go and search it. Now try to understand why I'm not able to see this data. When I go and search for 501 row, I want to identify the row ID 501, 501. I'm not able to see this row here. Why? Why we are not able to show that data here in the gallery? Why it is not filtering that data? Try to understand. Whenever I am writing this formula, here it is giving one blue mark here, guys. If you observe here, it is giving one blue mark for the title. For this column, title column, it is underlining with some blue color. Why? Why it is keeping like this? So that means what is the indication of this blue here? Blue mark here is because there are some limitations for this search function in the Power Apps. So whenever if you go and use the search function, this search function will have some limitations. What is that limitation means? This search function can search the data in the data sources up to 500 rows only. By default, the search function can search how many rows in the gallery or how many rows in the data sources. It can go and search only for top 500 rows. If you go and search for 501, more than 500 rows, we are not able to display. So if so, this is the warning it is displaying here, guys. So when I hover the mouse here, now it is displaying some warning message. What is that warning message? Delegation warning. What is this message is? It is showing them some warning, that is delegation warning. Delegation means limitations. The such part of this formula might not work correctly on the large data sets. Large data sets means if your data source, if the data in the list is having more than 500 rows, then this search function doesn't work properly on those data sources. Why? Because by default, this search function can search how many rows here is. It will go and search only 500 rows in the data sources. Only top 500 rows it will search. If your data source is having more than 500 rows, then it is not possible to go and search that data in the gallery with the help of this search. And also if you observe here in the gallery, here also it is showing one icon, warning icon. Now if you go and click on it, when I go and click on this edit, it is navigating to here. And also when I hover the mouse here, it is showing that value, that warning message. And also if you go and click on this app checker, if you go and click on this app checker, here also it will show that warning message. Here if you go to the formula, in the formula it is showing one warning message. What is that warning message? Delegation warning. The search part of this function of formula might not work correctly on the large data sets. So if your data source is having more than 500 rows, then this search function doesn't work properly on those. It will search only top 500 rows. If your data source is having more than 500 rows, it is not possible to go and search the data which is having more than 500 rows. Now, what is this delegation case? So there are some limitations. This search function by default, it is not delegable. Delegable means this search function is not satisfied with the Power Apps. So there are some limitations for this search box. So first of all, what is this delegation case? So let me go and open the one. Let me go to the Google. Let me go and search here for delegation in Power Apps. Let me show you delegation in Power Apps. When I go and search for delegation in Power Apps, Microsoft is giving some document. Let me go to the document. Let me go to the document. Now in this, click on the delegable data sources. Let me go and click on it. Now try to understand this. By default, Power Apps can support what data sources means. Power Apps, there is no limitations for Power Apps, which data sources. Power Apps can support the delegations, delegable data sources. First one is Microsoft Dataverse. Power Apps can support the delegations for Microsoft Dataverse. And also it can support for SharePoint, SQL Server, and Salesforce. So these are the data sources where the Power Apps doesn't have any limitations. So what data sources the Power Apps can support for delegation? Power Apps can support for the delegation data sources. Totally how many data sources? Only it can support 4 data sources. What are those? It can support for a Dataverse. It can support the SharePoint as a data source. It can support the SQL Server as a data source and SharePoint. Currently, among these 4 data sources, which is going to support the delegation, we are using which one? SharePoint. When I go for the SharePoint, when I click on the SharePoint, now see Power Apps delegable functions and operations for SharePoint. For SharePoint, which functions and operators this Power Apps can support. If you see what functions the Power Apps can support for the SharePoint as a data source is filter function, sort by columns, lookup, greater than, that is comparison operators, starts with, and is blank. These are the functions or operators where the Power Apps can support for this SharePoint as a data source. So if you are using any one of these functions, so Power Apps doesn't have any limitations. If your data source is having more than 500 rows also, you are able to search it. But what is the function I'm using here is, I'm using the function here, search function, guys. Now see, here in the Power Apps, in this delegations, I'm having the search function. Power Apps can support the SharePoint as a search function. No, it doesn't support. So by default, search function is not delegable in the Power Apps case. Such function is not delegable in Power Apps. So if you go and use the search function, by default, the search function can search only top 500 rows from the data source. If your data source is having more than 500 rows, it is not possible to go and search. Why? Because there are some limitations for this search box. So let me go and keep that point here. Before that, try to understand. There is one way where you can go and display the top 2000 rows here, guys. I said that by default you can display only top 500 rows with the help of this search, but there is a way where you can go and increase this limit from 500 to 2000. Now how to go and increase this limit is, select the, go to the settings here, go to the settings, click on the settings gear icon, scroll down, scroll down. Somewhere you will find an option called data row limit. See, by default it is set for 500. Now what is this data row limit means? Set how many rows are retrieved from server based connectors where delegation is not supported. If the delegation is not supported, then how many rows you want to fetch from the data sources by default. Now such function is not delegable. Such function is not delegable. There are some limitations. So by default, it is going to fetch only 500 rows. You are able to increase this limit from 500 to 2000, guys. What's the maximum limit you can set here is 2000. Once after setting the limit to 2000, just close it. And now let me go and play the app. Now search for the, let me remove this. Now search for the 1000 record here. Now see, I'm able to display the 1000. Now search for the 501, 501. Now see, I'm able to display the 501. And also search for 1500. I'm able to display the 1500. Previously, I'm not able to show more than 500 records. And now see, I'm keeping here 2000. Now when I keep here 2000, I'm able to show the row ID is equals 2000. But when I go and keep here 2001, now I'm not able to see. But in my data source, how many rows is there? 2100 rows is there. But here, if I go and keep here 2001, when I go and keep here 2001, I'm not able to filter the data. It is not displaying the data. Why? Because I set that limit. I increased the limit from 500 to what? 2000. So maximum limit you can kept here 2000. If I keep here 2001, now see automatically displaying one warning message. This value need to be between 1 to 2000. Default limit is 500. You can increase up to what? 2000. If you are keeping more than 2000, it doesn't allow. So let me keep here 2000, guys. If I go and keep here 2000, now from the data source you are able to search for 2000 rows. If your data source is having 2000 rows, you can go and search. Suppose think that if your data source is having more than 2000 rows, now in my data source I'm having the 2100 rows is there. Now if I want to search for the 2001 row, I'm not able to search it. If I go and search here for 2001 row, now see it is not searching for 2001 or 2010. It is not able to search. This is what, how there is a way where you can go and increase the limit, but try to understand, it is not recommended to go and increase the limit to 2000, guys. Always prefer to go and keep the limit to 500. If you keep here the limit to 2000 means your app performance will be reduces. Why? Because whenever if you go and open the app, this app need to go and bring 2000 rows from the data source. Bringing the 2000 rows from the data sources means it is not that much easy task. So your app performances will be reduced. So to increase the efficiency of the app, to improve the performance of the app, Not recommended to go and set the limit to 2000. Always try to go and keep the limit to what? 500 only. Then how to go and overcome this problem? I want by default, when I go and search the data, it is able to search up to 500. If I go and keep here 501, I'm not able to search it. So what is the limitations? There are some limitations for this search function is there. Now what are the limitations means? As I said that, let me go and copy something here. Just copy. So what are the limitations we are having here is just now I discussed. Let me go and keep it here now. Whatever the limitations I discussed here, just to copy them. Copy it and then paste it here. Now try to understand, guys. Delegation limits. This search function is not delegable. So delegation is nothing but there are some limitations. There are some limitations for the search function. Now what are the limitations? As I said that by default, this search function is not delegable with SharePoint as a data source. There are some limitations for this. And next point here is, so the search function can search only top 500 records. As I said that the search function can search how many records in the gallery? Only top 500 records from the data source. If the query is not delegable, whatever the query, see query is nothing but the syntax I'm writing here, guys. If the query is not delegable, then PowerApps can load only 500 records. So whatever the query you are writing here, if this query is not delegable means if it is not supporting to the delegations, then by default, as I said that it is going to load only 500 rows. And it is not possible to work with the large data sets. As I said that if the query is not delegable, then it can load only 500 rows. Then if your data source is having more than 500 rows, it is not possible to go and work with the large data sets. Where your data source is having more than 500, 2000 rows is there in the list, then such function is not possible to go on. With the help of such, we are not able to search the data in the galleries more than 500 rows if you have. So to overcome this problem, we can increase the limit to 2000 in the settings. As I said that if you go to the settings here, in the settings you can increase this limit from 500 to 2000, but it is not recommended. What happens if you increase the limit to 2000 means your app performance will be reduces. And finally, one more point here, as I said that it is not recommended to increase the limit. If you want to increase, you can go and increase it, but it is not recommended to increase the limit to 2000. As I said that the performance of that app will be reduces. So these are the limitations we are having for this search function. This search function is not delegable, so these are the delegations limits you are having. By default is not delegable with the data source as a SharePoint. It can search only top 500 records from the data source. So if the query is not delegable, we can load only 500 rows from the data sources. And this search function is not helpful for us to search the data on the large data sets. So you can increase the limit to 2000, but it is not recommended to go and increase the limit to 2000. Now, how to overcome this problem? I want to go and search the data in the gallery, even though if I'm having more than 2000 rows, not 500, even though if I have 500 rows, or even though if I have 2000 rows, greater than 2000 rows, I want to go and search that data in the gallery. Now, how to go and search the data in the gallery? Even though if you have more than 500 rows or 2000 rows means, instead of going and using the search function, we need to go and use one more function. What's that function you need to go and use it here is filter function, guys. What's that function you need to go and use? Filter. Now, what is this filter function? Now, just copy from here to here. Or let me do one thing, copy from here to here. Let me go and explain now how to overcome this problem. By default, such with the help of such function, we are not able to search the data where we are having more than 500 rows. But even though if the data source is having more than 500 rows, I want to go and search the data in that galleries. Now how to go and search? So instead of going and using the filter search function, go and use which function? Go and use the filter function, guys. So this filter function is delegable. If you go to this, if you go to the Google here, SharePoint can delegable for which data source, for which functions? Filter function. So filter function is delegable. If you want to search n number of rows, not only 500, 500, 1000, 2000, more than 2000 rows also is there in your data source. If you want to search it means, instead of going and using the search function, you need to go and use the filter function. With the help of filter function also, we are able to search the data. Now, first let me go and discuss about what is this filter function, guys. Now see, filter function is used to evaluate an expression by passing some filter conditions. That means this filter function will allows the users to pass the conditions case. It will allows the users to pass some filter conditions. We are able to pass some filter conditions to this. Based on the filter conditions we are passing, it is going to filter the data. So first point you need to understand, filter function is used to evaluate an expression by passing some filter conditions. And next point here is, filter function is used to search the data in the gallery. As I said that with the help of the filter function, we are going to search the data in the gallery, guys. Not only to search the data, with the help of filter function, this filter function is also used to filter the data in the gallery, guys. Now try to understand, search is different, filter is different, both are not same. So in today's session I will show you how to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of this filter function. With the help of the filter function, in today's session I will discuss how to go and search the data in the gallery. In the next class, that is tomorrow, I will discuss how to go and filter the data in the gallery with the help of this filter function. I will discuss, guys. With the help of filter function, you can perform two actions. One is you can search, second is filter. In today's session I will discuss how to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of the filter function. In the tomorrow's class I will discuss how to go and filter the data in the gallery with the help of the same filter function. So you can use this filter function in two ways. One is for search, second is filter. Both are not same. Keep in mind, search is different, filter is different. You will understand. Now in today's session I will show you how to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of the filter function. And also, as I said, that filter function is delegable in PowerApps for SharePoint as a data source. So as I said that this filter function is delegable with the help for what data sources? For the SharePoint as a data source. That point I'm keeping here. Filter function is delegable in PowerApps for SharePoint as a data source. This is what the filter function is. Only 3 points you need to understand. Filter function will allow some filter conditions. Second point is, with the help of the filter function, you can search the data in the gallery and you can filter the data in the gallery. And this search function is delegable in the PowerApps for SharePoint as a data source. And next point you need to understand here is, as I said that with the help of filter you can search and filter the data in the galleries. Now try to understand different ways to use the filter function. As I said that, what are the two ways you can go and use the filter function? One is search the data using the filter function. First we'll discuss in today's session how to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of the filter function. And second one is what? Filter the data in the gallery with the help of filter function. How to go and filter the data in the gallery with the help of this filter function, we'll be discussing this concept in the tomorrow's class. In today's session, let me go and discuss about how to go and filter the data, not filter, how to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of filter function, guys. So in today's session I will show you how to go and search the data using the filter function in the galleries. Now see, if you want to search the data in the gallery with the help of the filter function, along with the filter function you need to go and use one more function, guys. What is that function? Is starts with function. What is that function? Starts with the. Along with the filter function, to search the data, along with the filter function you need to go and use one more function, that is starts with. So let me go and copy that point here. How to go and search the data using filter functions. Now try to understand, guys. To search the data using filter, we need to go and use the starts with function also. If you want to search the data with the help of filter function, along with the filter function you need to go and use one more function. What's that function I'm using here? Is starts with function, guys. Now this starts with the function is also delegable with SharePoint as a data source. This starts with function is also delegable. If you see, if you go and see here, where is it? This starts with function is also delegable with SharePoint as a data source. And now try to understand. And next point here is, by using the starts with function we can search the data in the large data sets. Now if you, as I said that previously, here I am not able to search the data greater than 500 rows. If I'm searching for more than 500 rows, I'm not able to search it. To search the data, if you're having more than 500 rows, then you need to go and use the filter function. Along with the filter function, you need to go and use one more function, that is what? Starts with. This starts with function is also delegable with the SharePoint as a data source. Fine. Now let me go and show you how to go and search the data in the gallery with the help of filter and also with the help of starts with function, guys. Let me go to this and let me go and show you how to go and filter the data. So just go to this, select the gallery. Let me keep it in the comment. Let me keep this in the comment. And next, I want to add the filter function here. Filter. Now see, first it is asking us to pass what? Data source. What is my data source? Orders is my data source. What is my data source? Orders is my data source. Next, keep comma. Next, it is asking us to pass the logical test. Now within the logical test, I need to go and use the starts with function, guys. I'm going to use which function? Starts with function. Now what is this starts with function is expecting here is, it is expecting the function, the text to be checked. Now here you need to go and pass the column name based on which column you want to search the data. Here I want to search the data based on which column? Title column. Just one second. Let me check for row id. Yes, it is displaying the row id. Let me pass the row id and then keep comma. Next it is asking us to pass the string value based on which value you want to search, based on what you want to search in this column. Whatever the values I'm going to enter into this search input control, I want to go and search the data based on this. So just copy this label name and then go to this, keep it here, dot txt, dot txt. Now this is the syntax. Now try to understand. I'm going to search the data in the gallery now. I'm going to search the data in the gallery with the help of filter. Within the filter function, I'm going to use the starts with function. I want to search the data based on which column? Row id column. Now when I go and search here, when I go and play the app, now see what is the value I'm searching for? Which row? 501. Previously I'm not able to find out the 501 here, but now I'm able to find out the 501. If I go and search here for 1000, now I'm able to find out the row id for 1000. If I go and search here for 2000, now see I'm able to find out the row id for 2000. If I keep here 2001, now see guys, I'm able to see the 2001 also. So if your data source is having more than 2000 rows or more than 500 rows or 2000 rows, then if you want to search the data in that gallery, then instead of going and using the search function, you need to go and use which function? Filter function. Along with the filter function, you need to go and use one more function, is what? Starts with function. So with the help of this filter and starts with function, you are able to filter the data on the galleries, even though if your data source is having more than 500 rows, or if it is having more than 2000 rows also, we are able to search it. And now see, I'm searching the data based on only one column here, guys. I'm searching the data based on only one column. What's that column I'm searching here? The data row id column. Let's say I want to search the data based on the row id column and also on the customer name column, guys. Let's say I want to go and search the database in the customer name column also. So how to go and search the database in both row id and customer id? Just go and use the or operator. Just go and use the or operator here, and then again go and use the starts with function. Starts with, I want to search the database on which column? Customer name column. Customer name comma, whatever the input value, I'm going to enter this text input dot txt. Now close it. Now just save the app and then play. Now try to understand, guys. Now when I go and search based on the row id, I'm able to search it. I'm able to search for more than 2000 also. 2010, let's say 2010, I'm able to search it, or 2050 I'm able to search. Now let me go and search that based on the customer name column, guys. Now see, what is this customer? 2050. This is the customer name. So just copy the customer name. Now just remove it. Remove it. Now see, I'm showing the complete data now. Now I'm going to search based on the customer name. I'm entering the customer name. What is the customer name? Now see, how many times the customer is purchasing the orders. I'm able to display only these customer names. Which customer, for which customer name I'm entering here, the same customer details I'm able to show in that gallery. Now it is displaying the data. What data? Where the customer name is equals to Kelty. And if you want to go and search for the customer, another customer means just remove it. And let us say I want to search for some other customer. Let me go and search for some other customers. Let's say go and search for this for this customer, guys, or not this one. Let me search for this one, John Eaton. Go and search for this customer. It's not searching. What is the name? Joel Eaton. Now see, I am searching for the customer name where the name is equal to Joel Eaton. Now I'm having only the customer details where the name is equals to Eaton. So like this, you are able to search the data based on the multiple columns. You can go and search the data based on the row ID column. You can go and search the data based on the customer name column, guys. If you want to search the data based on the order ID also, you can go and search. So just what you need to do, just reduce the ink size. Now see, if you want to search the database in the row ID, go to the formula, just go and use the starts with function again and pass that column name. Now what, instead of customer name, go and pass the column name what, row ID column. So like this, we are able to search the data based on the multiple columns. And also if you are able to search the data, if you have more than 2000 rows also in the data sources. But now try to understand, guys. Try to understand. Here I am searching the data based on which columns. Row ID is a text column, text data type column. Customer is also a text data type column. Now my requirement here is I want to search the data based on the let us say region column, guys. I want to go and search the database on the region column. Let me check whether it is possible to go and search the database on the region column or not. So I'm going to add another column here, or starts with I want to go and search the based on which column now? Region column. Region column is a choice column. Region dot value. Region dot value. Now just close it. Now see here, guys. When I go and search the data based on the choice column, now see it is throwing an error. What is that error? Invalid number of arguments. Received one argument, expecting two arguments. Starts with customer name, and then now let me keep here. We need to go and pass one more thing here, that is based on which value. Whatever the values I'm going to enter into the text input control, that values I want to go to such. Just copy the name of this control, go to this and keep it here, comma, whatever the values I'm going to enter into the text input control, based on that I want to go and search the data. Now go and close it. Now try to understand, guys. Now it is throwing an error. Now see, here I am passing the two parameters. Even though I am passing the two parameters, just 1 second. Let me remove this one here and let me add it here. Just some small error mistake, syntax mistake. Now see, now when I go and keep this, when I go and search the data based on the region column, region is what column? Choice column. It is not a text. Now when I go and keep here, now it is showing some warning message. Now what is this warning message? Delegation warning. The highlighted part of this portion might not work correctly with the column region on large data sets. So delegation warning starts with part of this formula does not work on the delegations. So even if the help of starts with and filter, I'm able to search the data in the gallery on which columns? You are able to search the data based on the text data type columns. If your column data type is text, on those columns only you are able to search. You are able to search for more than 2000 rows also. But if your data, or if your column is, if you want to search the data based on the choice column, choice is a complex data type column, guys. If you want to go and search the data on the choice column, now see it is throwing an error. Now if I go and save it, when I go and search for 1000, I'm not able to view it. When I go and search for the row ID is equals to 100, now I'm able to view it. But when I go and search for the row is equal to 501, I'm not able to view this. Why? Because it is throwing some warning message. What is that warning message? Here also it is showing the same warning message. What is that warning message is? So this, even though I'm using the starts with function, it is showing some delegation warning. As I said that this starts with function also can delegable with what data type columns means. It can delegable with the text data type columns only, guys. If you see, if you go to this document, this starts with function is delegable, but for what column? For only text columns it is yes, but remaining number column, boolean columns, data type columns, it is not possible. So there is one complex column where it can support start with. When I, if you see, yes means complex 2. Complex 2 is nothing but it can support only for the columns where the column data type is email or display name. For these two columns only it will support. The email is one data type, display name is another data type, guys. So this, for these two columns only it will support. Remaining choice columns it doesn't support. Number column it doesn't support. Boolean column it doesn't support. Data type it doesn't support. This starts with function can support for only which column? Text data type columns. So if you want to go and search for the columns where we have the choice data types, it is not possible to go and search it. So just remove it. If you want to go and search it based on this choice data type columns, that is like a complex data type columns means no, it is not possible. Now this is what, how to go and filter the data in the gallery with the help of search function. This search function can search only top 500 rows, and also this search function can search on which columns? Only text columns. To, if you want to search the data based on more than 500 rows, then in this case go and use the starts with, along with starts with, go and use the starts with function. If you go and use this starts with and filter function, you are able to search the data more than 2000 rows also. If your data source is having more than 2000 rows, in this cases also you are able to search it. But here we are not able to search on the complex data type columns. As I said that complex data type columns is nothing but what? Number columns, date columns, choice columns, all these are called as complex data type columns. If you want to go and search the data on the complex data type columns means you can go and use the another one more function, that is in operator, guys. You can go and use another one more function, that is what? In operator. Now what is the use of this in operator is? What is the functionality of this in operator is? In operator is used to search the data in the gallery based on one or more column values, and also this in operator it is used to search the data in all the data type columns, guys. By using this in operator we are able to search the data on all the data type columns. Let me show you how this, as I said that this in operator is going to allow you to filter the data on all the data types, not a specific data type. You can go and search the data on all different types of data type columns. And let me show you how to go and use this in operator to search the data. So let me go and use same function, filter function. Filter, what is the data source? Orders is my data source. Now it is asking us to pass the logical test. Now within the logical test, open brackets and close brackets. Now what I am passing here is a text input. Whatever the input I am going to pass into this control, that input, based on that input I want to search the data. Text input dot txt, text input dot txt, and then go and use the operator called in operator, guys. Go and use the operator called in operator, and once after passing the in operator, now go and pass the column name. Now what is the column name I'm going to pass here is a region column, region dot value. Why I'm passing here value means because it is a which column? Choice column. Because of choice column I'm going to pass the values here. Now when I go and search it, let me save it. I think here I need to close one more bracket. Fine. Now when I go and search the data 501, now also I'm not able to see more than 500. Why? Because here also I'm not able to see more than 500. Why? This in operator is also not delegable. If you see here is throwing some warning message. What's that warning message? Delegation warning. If it is throwing some delegation warning, then it will allows us to filter the data only on top 500 rows only. Now if I go and search If I go and save it, when I go and search for region is equal to east, now see, it is showing the values where the region is equals to east only up to 500 guys, not more than 500. Now when I scroll down, if you see up to at what level it is showing means 493. More than, if I scroll down also, it is not moving. So it is showing the values up to 500 rows based on which column? Region column. I'm searching the data based on which column here is region column. Region is what column? Choice column. So like this, if you want to search, you can go and search it. Let me check. Here it is possible to go and search. And I go with the filter. When I go with the filter, let me go and add one more here. Or operator uh, starts with region dot value comma text input dot txt. Now just close it. Now save, play. Now just remove this. Now when I search for central, yes, now it is showing the data. Now also it will show only top 500, not more than 500 rows. So like this, we are able to go and search the data, guys. So there are different ways to go and search the data. First one by using what? First one by using what? Search function. This search function by default can support only 500 rows, not possible more than 500. If you want to search more than 500 rows, then go and use what? Filter. Along with the filter, you need to go and use what? Starts with. So if you go and use this two, both filter and starts with, then you are able to filter the data in the gallery or in the data source if the data source is having more than 500 or greater than 2000 rows. But here also you can go and search their data based on which columns? Only the text columns. If the column data type is text, on those columns only you are able to search it. If the column data type is not text, we are not able to search it. You are able to search, but you are able to search only top 500. It is not possible to go and search more than 500 rows. So this is what, how to go and search the data in the galleries with the help of filter and also with the help of search and filter functions. Now in today's session, I discussed here how to go and use the search filter function to search the data. In the next class, that is tomorrow, I will show you how to go and use the filter function to filter the data. Here in today's session, I'm searching the data in the gallery. In today's session, I'm searching the data in the gallery, guys. In the tomorrow's class, I will show you how to filter the data in the gallery. So filtering is different, search is different. How to filter the data and how to search the data, you will understand the tomorrow's class. Today, I discussed about how to search. Tomorrow, you'll discuss about how to filter the same data in the galleries. Fine. Let me go and stop here.